Well, what a difference today makes, and thank you for tuning in to check it out. Let's dive right into this situation that is unfolding right now, and that is the CMA has released additional findings to their Phase 1 investigation that relate to the Phase 2 investigation, and all of a sudden things are starting to take a different direction for Microsoft. So, if you weren't aware, they released their provisional findings, which revolved around the Phase 1 part of the investigation, and they found out that, or at least tried to say that Microsoft was creating a relevant merger situation, and they were going to have a substantial lessening of competition in the gaming market when it comes to cloud and console gaming. But now, with new evidence being presented in the Phase 2 investigation, we are now seeing the CMA say that substantial lessening of competition is starting to fade away. They are starting to see that Microsoft has no intent of actually foreclosing on PlayStation or making the game Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox platform exclusively. A lot of arguments got thrown out the window today, so apparently those over at the CMA were not really enjoying the flavor of Kool-Aid that Jim Ryan brought to the party. And some of the things that I brought from their new findings, this paragraph right here. This model uses the lifetime value of gamers who switch from PlayStation to Xbox following a total foreclosure strategy as an approximation of Microsoft's gains from that strategy and the foregone revenue from all PlayStation Call of Duty gamers as an approximation of the losses. Our revised model now suggests that making Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox would result in a significant financial loss for Microsoft post-merger. Given the magnitude of these potential losses under all scenarios we consider to be plausible, we now place significantly more weight on the lifetime value model than we did at the stage of our provisional findings. We have provisionally concluded that although such strategies could degrade PlayStation's offering to some extent, they would not materially affect its ability to compete. As such, we have provisionally found that Microsoft would not have the ability to foreclose PlayStation through partial foreclosure strategies using Call of Duty. Right there. The CMA has found out that Microsoft, or the CMA has determined that Microsoft is not going to take Call of Duty away from PlayStation, and that PlayStation is going to have to deal with being put on an even playing field. No more exclusive content. No more little bonuses to XP gains over on the PlayStation side. No more exclusive skins. You get to be on the same level. You get to be equality. Jim Ryan, it's 2023, the generation of equality. And welcome to the world of equality. You now have to play on an even playing field, and you don't get to have these little bonuses that you've been paying for a very long time now, and you now have to actually compete. And according to the CMA, you should be able to compete. This deal should not affect your ability to do that. But of course, a console market competitor who wanted their name snipped out, if you read these documents, it's a really cool photo of scissors, but if you really think about it, during this whole thing, there's 3 console manufacturers, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, and Nintendo got thrown out of the equation, and they have also signed an agreement with Xbox, which means that the only one left is PlayStation, so good luck on really hiding that. They decided to have their name snipped out a lot, but it says a snipped console market competitor said the CMA's math is flawed and says individual gamers tend to reduce their spending over time and overstate Microsoft's potential losses on Call of Duty foreclosure and thereby understate Microsoft's incentive to foreclose. This competitor also submitted that Minecraft is not a close analog to Call of Duty, and they listed their reasons. It is a single release title that was published in 2011. It is based on a legacy monetization model of a one-time fee after which users receive lifetime updates and content. It is not graphically intensive and offers a visual experience that relies on blocky and pixelated visuals. It does not drive anything close to the level of gameplay, engagement, or purchasing decisions as Call of Duty, having fewer players, fewer MAU, lower engagement levels, less than a third of Call of Duty gameplay hours, and limited impact on console purchasing decisions. According to this competitor, the closest analog for the current transaction is Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax. Well, here's some more math to really shoot down your arguments over there, Jim Ryan, and you keep drinking that Kool-Aid. The best-selling Call of Duty game ever was Call of Duty Black Ops in 2010, and it sold 31 million copies. A year later, Microsoft purchased Minecraft. Well, actually, Minecraft came out in 2011, so forgive me, they didn't purchase them until a few years after that. But the best-selling Call of Duty game was in 2010. But you ready for the top 10 best-selling games of all history of the world? Tetris, 520 million, that's number 1. Minecraft is number 2 at 238 million, followed behind Grand Theft Auto 5 at 170 million. After that, we have Wii Sports, PUBG, Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Overwatch, Super Mario Bros., Pokemon Generation 1, and Red Dead Redemption 2, capping it off at space number 10. Not one Call of Duty game is on that list. So please explain to me how Minecraft is not considered a comparable analog, considering not even a Bethesda title is on that list. But let's also conclude with everybody before we go dancing in the streets on the Yellow Brick Road. Let's also know that the CMA is only letting go of their arguments towards console gaming. They feel that Microsoft is not going to affect the console gaming market. But remember, the other half of their argument was towards the cloud gaming market. This is why Microsoft has been going around making deals with Nvidia, Boosteroid, and Ubiquitous, or however else you want to pronounce that other one. They have been making a lot of deals in cloud gaming, and they have also done some good jobs in other competitors in cloud with Valve's Steam. They trust Xbox. Gabe Newell came out and said that Xbox always follows through on its promises, and so they feel that they have no reason to sign any agreement with Xbox because they trust them. The only real blemish that Microsoft is going to have to fight when it comes to regulators looking at the cloud market is what happened to Google Stadia. Phil Harrison reportedly states that Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda played a role in shutting down Stadia Studios. And that's probably a good reason. We saw Stadia come out swinging, saying that they were going to be the best thing since sliced bread in cloud gaming, and that was a very short-lived life expectancy for the Stadia product, but it's also yet another game that Google plays. But in my opinion, there was a lot of things that Stadia had working against it. I think the purchase of Bethesda just really deflated their egos a little bit on that one. But let's find out what the future holds, because we still have to get the EU's findings in May. The CMA is going to discuss their cloud findings at the pretty much near the end of April before the EU. And then finally, we got the FTC that wants to take Microsoft to court in August. But honestly, there's a lot of people now speculating that believe that the FTC case is going to be settled very quickly and might not even make it to the court case in August, because a lot of people like Michael Pachter and other analysts say that the FTC has an extremely weak argument, and there's a lot of problems inside the FTC. It is a very broken house right now, so I really doubt that the FTC is going to want to pursue this, considering Microsoft has a very large amount of money to fight them in court, because here in the United States, you can fight them. So let's just keep our eyes peeled. Let's keep tuned in for content like this. And if you enjoy content like this, be sure to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, YouTube likes, and please stay tuned here. I am Centurion1307. Thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in. And remember, as always, to play what you want, where you want, no matter what anybody says.